These were growing up Christians. And I love to hear about Christians who grow up because it bothers me sometimes to see Christians who don't grow up. Sometimes I get bothered and I laugh for growing up this myself. The Bible, in Revelations 3, 15, 16, that area somewhere, we all know it. It talks about the church in these end days. It refers to us as a certain church for the Laodiceans. And I know some people get offended when we're called Laodiceans because the Bible has nothing good to say about us. But I am happy to be a Laodicean and tell you right where I am. It tells me I am not cold, which is good, because being cold is not good. But unfortunately, I am warm, but I am not hot yet. Now, I would like to submit something here, that cold represents young Christians or non-Christians. They are cold. They have not had light. When light shines on something, it warms up. Hot, those are people who absorb it all. These are Christians on fire for Christ. Hot Christians aren't listed as a church because in the end, hot Christians go to heaven. There's no need to listen to another church that's hot after Laodicea because the hot Christians get on fire, they go spread the word, they die as martyrs, we get to see Christ coming in all his glory. The hot Christian church has the world's biggest choir that's in heaven. That's where the hot Christians go. So people get concerned that Laodicea is the last church haven't looked at it very well. Laodicea is a great place to be. You're about to get, God calls us to come out, get hot, and go to heaven. I can't think of a better place to be. I'm sorry that I'm not as hot as I'd like to be yet, but there's some good words for me here. Get hot, get going, store my treasures where they belong. Get my priorities straight. I would like to refer as born Christians as teenager or puberty Christians. They have received some light, they've grown up a bit, but they're not there yet. Now, Christians growing up do not grow like people. People with a steady timeline. If you don't grow up, you end up as a child of slow. Christians, they start, they end up in this middle area, they stay there until they've embraced enough light to move on. And it's interesting, you can have a 10-year-old who's hot and a 90-year-old who's stone cold. One can say it's tragic, one can say it's great, and you'd both be right. I went so fast, I lost my place in my notes. Hold on.
Preach it.
Oh my, we think that's the page. Excellent. No, I didn't. I missed something. I had asked my Pathfinders earlier if they had grabbed my pole off the side with a piece of felt and the tape, so Pathfinders, you can grab that for me real quick. Right over there where you saw me put it. Yep, and the felt. Quickly. There we go. You tell them to walk softly in church and slow down, and you want to hurry up, and they walk softly in church. I'm not certain if that's good or not. I think it's good. Now, as we grow up, this is going to be a demonstration here. As we add things to us, people talk about truths in the Bible, and for truths to affect us, we have to embrace them. So, you can see this pole here. I want to get on that pole right. Can somebody describe to me what that pole looks like?
Pole.
Okay. It's very easy to describe that pole here. Here, why don't you guys just stick that piece of felt on the pole somewhere? Alright, now describe that pole to me. That's right, the pole, a red piece of felt. That pole has embraced redness. It has added red to it. It's part of what it is now. It is a pole with red. Stick it somewhere, anywhere. And now, it is a pole with red and green. It has embraced another color. It has changed. It has matured in the picture here. Just keep sticking all over there. Our pole, as it embraces more and more things, the description changes. As the description changes, you notice one, it takes longer to describe it. There's more to describe. As we noted earlier in Sabbath school, empty house I think there's nothing wrong with it. All right. Now let's describe this pole here. It's very colorful. It has many colors, and I currently buy a very cheap brand of tape. That's okay. You get the point. Okay. I hope you made a note there. If your religion has an house service and it's cheap, the colors don't stay on. So there's a parable right there if you want cheap tape. All right. Amen. All right, Pat, you can go ahead and remove the pole if you so desire. Or you can even try to keep some staying on there. Good luck. All right. As we grow up, as we change, the description there changes. I would like us to go to Galatians. You guys all guess where I'm going in Galatians. It's the end of Galatians, it's chapter 5. If you guys can't find it, please take another Bible study or two. But in there are lists of fruits of the Spirit. And I think my poll is just like fruits of the Spirit that adds to it. As we get more Christ-like, our fruit has a name. And I see people, they talk about, I have love. I say, you look at this gift here, love is not a fruit of the Spirit. The fruit has one long name, and love is part of the name. That's like me telling you my fruit is a cherry, and I have a seed. C is not the name of a cherry. It is the first letter of a cherry. The fruit here's name is very long. It is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, meekness, temperance. That's the name of the fruit. It is a very long name. It has many things. As my poll here, it developed more color. It developed more things to it. If your fruit is not of this name, maybe it's only peace, long-suffering, goodness, meekness, I submit to you that your fruit is half ripe. You're still growing as a Christian. You are not hot yet. I've heard people say, I'm missing one, but it's okay, I got the rest. No, it's not okay. They need to get in the light. Trees grow in the light. Without light and heat, they don't bear fruit. Same with Christians. If you're not in the light, you will not grow up and you will not bear fruit. And you might all say, amen, that's good, and we're done. Unfortunately, we're not. My sermon has two halves to it. Go ahead and put that whole away. Now up here on our banner we have a sign that said, how is it? That was our theme today. And the skits this morning all emphasize different parts of how is it. How is it on our faith? How is it on our walk with Christ? How is it with you personally? And my sermon also looks at the question of how is it as well. Because some of us haven't grown up. I want to know how is it? And the Bible asks that question several times as well. How is it? So let's look at it. If you go to Mark 4:40. I don't necessarily have to read it. If you want me to, I can. But basically, I'll look it up and read it. We got plenty of time. I can look them all up. My mom taught me how to use the Bible. All right. Mark 4:40. My fingers are getting sticky. That means I'm nervous. All right. Mark 4:40. Right here, Dan says, and he said unto them, why are you so afraid? How is it ye have no faith? People who don't know the story, Jesus had just been doing a lot of preaching. And Jesus sat down and explained all. My Bible says here, a few verses back, he explained all to them. I'm telling you, I love that Jesus didn't have to sit here and explain it all to me. And then they went off in some boat across the lake. Some people stormed out, sank, and then they panicked. And Jesus wakes up and he calms her and asks, how is it you have no faith? These disciples have all the answers. It's like getting the answer, the teacher writing the answer on a bulletin board, and they give you a pop quiz and want to know why you all didn't ace it. It's a valid question. How is it? Mark 8:21 is our next how is it question. Feel free to turn to pages. Don't turn so fast you rip them though. That's bad for the Bible. 8:21 here. And he said unto them, how is it you do not understand? They just fed 40,000 people, and the disciples still didn't get it. They had it all explained to them. They seen divine miracles. They saw a potluck on the world's greatest Luke 2:49. We have another one. Luke 2:49. It's here somewhere. There we go. Luke 2:49. And he said unto them, How is it ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be on my Father's business? His parents knew his job. They knew what he was supposed to do. And we have a question, how is it? How is it they weren't ready for him to do start his job? And how is it they weren't looking for him to start his job? If I was an employer and I hired somebody to go build that fence, so I don't build it anymore, I want to know when he's going to start the job. I'm looking for him to start the job, because if he doesn't, I might have to do it myself. Why wasn't the parents looking? How is it? Luke 12:56. Just moving right on through. I tried to make sure they're all in the same words so we didn't have to turn back and forward. Very nice to you today. I did not shorten how many you had to look up. Luke 12:56. And ye hypocrites, ye discern the face of the sky and of the earth. Now is it that ye do not discern the times? This one, he might have been talking to them, but I think he's talking to me. And we are part of the Adventist church. I don't think I have to quote anybody in here what we believe. We believe we're the end-time church. We believe Christ is coming soon, yet we're not on fire. We cannot tell the weather. We have no urgency. If there's a storm coming, one with any sense shuts the shutters. When spring is coming, you plant your seeds for the summer. Everybody knows these things, but on a spiritual level, how is it? This question that keeps coming up. We have one more, Luke 16:2. I know a whole sermon can be preached on each one of them, but I will restrain myself. And he called him and said unto him, How is it that I hear this of thee? Give an accounting of thy stewardship, for thou must be no longer steward. That verse troubles me. He's asking, where is the crops? What have you done? Where's the increase? How is it there is nothing? Statistics for North America might cause God to ask the same thing. North American Adventism is stale and has been for a decade. Sometimes it might even look like it's shrinking. How is it? These are scary, scary questions. I would submit that too many of us sit in the shade. If you're sitting in the shade and not getting out, you're not getting any light. If you're not getting any light, you're not growing. Too many of us take it for granted that I read these scriptures correctly. I could quote them all wrong, and I don't know if half of you guys would notice. I don't know if I was sitting out there and might not notice. That is a scary question. How is it that we as Adventists are Laodiceans? Why isn't the whole Adventist church on fire? It is a hard question. And when I started thinking about it, I thought, how can we dare ask such a question? But we don't ask the hard questions, we do not get hard answers. Without hard answers, we do not have growth. People do not grow where you're uncertain. You plant a tree in rocky soil where it barely gets water, it